This month on Diecast Time, it's a video I've been wanting to do for a while where I crack open same but different. So this one's a video I've been wanting to do for a while. I'd like to compare and contrast the different molds of the Sierras that we've got here. These are all slightly different molds, so it's nice to compare. But mainly I've just been wanting a reason to get some of the Sierras out of their boxes. Anyway, this covers off the main ones we've got here in Australia. Now there is different, there's some other different Sierras out there, but these are the ones that we've got in 1/18th form in the Australian touring cars, as far as I understand. So because I've got a few different ones of different cars, but with these three being Johnson Sierras, probably the closest way of comparing them. Where, you know, if I got a Brock Sierra and an ANZ one and a Benson Hedges one and things like that, they all look different anyway with the different liveries. But this is a good way of comparing them. So there is, I think it's Solido do a different version of the Sierra. There's probably a couple others out there over the years, but these are the main ones that we've got for the Australian cars. So first off, we've got what is off the original Minichamps mold. So I have got like some Texaco Sierras and a few of the other European ones that are, as far as I understand, they're off this same mold. But these are the original ones that Bianchi did. Also in the clear display case, which I quite like, but very difficult to get the models out, which I know I'm not going to have fun trying to get that one out. And then Bianchi, as far as I understand, this is a later mold that they did with AutoArt as well, but it's a different mold to this one. We've only got a few of these. This is the one where Dick Johnson took it over, his Sierra over to Silverstone for the European Touring Car Championship round over there, to after getting humiliated in 1987 at Bathurst when the internationals came, he took his Sierra over there to blow them all away. There's that classic shots of him, miles in front on the first lap. Unfortunately, they ended up having a DNF in the race, but they did definitely show their pace. And then the later one is the Apex replicas. That's based off the 92 Bathurst 1000, the second place car. Potentially, so some people might argue was the winner of the day. But yeah, I'll crack these three open so we can have a look at the different ones and compare and see which one I think is best. And because it's probably going to take me a very long, especially this one, to get out of its box, we won't do that on camera. Now, before we have a really close-up look at the cars, these are the three out of the boxes. As I said, this one, an absolute nightmare to get out of that old school kind of packaging. Feels like the whole time you're going to break something. A hell of a lot easier to get the newer kind of Bianchi one out. A few screws in that nice, the polystyrene packaging. The Apex one, definitely the easiest. No screws, pretty easy to get out that one. We've got the certificates of authenticity, really cool with these ones, two of them signed by both of the drivers. Obviously this one is the championship car, so it's only Dick Johnson only, whereas these are endurance models, so John Bow on there as well. We'll kick it off with the earlier one, Dick Johnson 3303 3033 out of 4,000 of that one. A hell of a lot of models of that. Around that time, a lot being produced of each model. This one, 149 of 1254 of the later Bianchi one, and 109 of 900 of the Apex replicas one. Pretty good certificates on those. You can see these are very similar. And then the Apex one, I thought these probably weren't quite as good as some of the others, but a lot more, I suppose, information on the Apex one. But let's have a closer look at the cars. So on the turntable now, we have the original championship winner from 1988. Very impressive model, considering the age on these. These were done I think around the mid to late 90s. Really good quality, good fit and finish. I have noticed it's probably got a little bit of dust on it from when I originally had it on display. Probably needs a bit of a clean up. It has been tucked away in a box for quite a few years. But yeah, really impressive model. It's hard to pick anything wrong with these. And now we move on to the ETCC version of that 1988 car as well. I'm not sure on the whole build and everything of the Dick Johnson Sierras. I think there was 5 of them in total. Not sure if this was the same as the championship cars that was sent over, or if it was a different one. But it's a lot easier to tell the differences between the two, or between the different Sierras when they're all in the red Johnson livery. The biggest criticism on this one is the fit and finish on the rear tailgate. As you can see, it's spinning around there. It just doesn't sit down quite as nicely as the others. Overall though, the model does sit very nicely, and it's hard to tell many differences from that original Minichamps mold. Apparently this one was a different mold to those original ones. The mesh in the front looks a little bit improved on the other one, but yeah, overall a very good car as well. I would have to say though, I probably prefer the original one slightly. The fit and finish actually is slightly better on the original one. And now finally we have the Apex Replicas one going around. Obviously Apex Replicas was bought out by Bianchi at a point a few years ago, so they're not around anymore. So unfortunately we won't see more of these models, and I don't think Bianchi really cares about doing the older cars at the moment. So this might be it for this one. It's hard because this is the coolest looking one in my opinion. I love the look with the special DJR wheels that they got made up compared to the stock standard RS500 wheels that are on the other ones. But there is some issues with this. I'm not sure if it's coming out on camera, but the rear wing, the finish on it, especially on that side right there, it's not the best. The windows aren't as clear as what's on the Bianchi ones. The finish on the windows not quite as good there, but some really good little features on this one, and I like the look of this one the best. I love the big bold shell down the side of the cars, changing from those white logos to the bright yellow, and how they've fitted it on there. It's the peak Group A really, these guys, right towards the end of Group A there, it was where it was at its peak. You've got the big names down the side, really easy to read. Unfortunately, in those days it was only on one side of the car, but yeah, it's where it was really kind of coming into the just before the V8 Supercars and some of the things that we see today on the cars. So that's a look at the 3 Johnson Sierras that all come off different molds. I have got some more Sierras that I will be cracking open. As I said, I have quite a few of those original Minichamps ones from European, like the Texaco Sierras and a couple of others. Plus off this model I've also got like I think one Brock one, the Bond, the Benson Hedges Bathurst winning car, and then I've also got another Brock one that's off this mould, which will be nice to compare. I was a bit critical about the fit and finish on this one. I had a bit of a play with it after filming to do this, the outro, I suppose. It is actually sitting a lot better. Definitely the finish on these two is better than the Apex one, but I love the Apex one just with the whole look overall. But yeah, definitely 3 models I love in my collection, and I do have a definite soft spot for the Sierras. Anyway, down in the comments, let me know, have you got any of these Sierras, or you know, which Sierras have you got in your collection, and which is your favorite of the molds between them all. As I said, I love the look of this one, but when you break it down, the Bianti Minichamps kind of ones, AutoArt, definitely a little bit better overall. The biggest difference in them, this grille, I suppose, around the windscreen, this it does look plasticky, but it is sat up more like the original one. And then these ones, it does sit down a little bit in there. So I'd love to maybe try and get some better photos, or I don't think I'll be seeing a real car to compare it to, but yeah, just to compare, these ones are very close in their finish though. They're just all great cars to have in the collection. So anyway, until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.